Hey guys, Susannah here from The Good Property Company. I'm chatting to you from the beach in Barcelona, and today we're going to be talking about 10 tips on you going out to view properties. What are you looking for when you're viewing a property, particularly when you're looking what you're going to do to renovate it, what's right with the property, what's wrong with the property. Now, I have got some notes, so every now and again I'm going to refer to them because I want to make sure I transfer all the things I've planned to talk to you so that you've got everything you need. And you might want to take some notes while you're watching this video, or you might just want to sit out and enjoy the sea view. Welcome to Barcelona. So this video is all about property viewing tips, but really it's about understanding how to analyze what is right or wrong with a property and what you're going to need to do to refurb it. So remember to click the like button, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on important property videos like this one, do you? Because they're really useful for you in your property career. What to look for in a property viewing is what we're going to talk about. When I started as a complete newbie, I really didn't know what to look for. And if you're starting right now, you probably don't know exactly what to look for. Well, 200 odd deals later, we actually did 217 deals, and a property portfolio that means I'm financially free. I kind of pretty much know my stuff, and I've done a ton of renovations, so I've got a much deeper insight, and it's those 10 tips I'm going to share with you today. Tip number 1, and you'll be surprised, the first 4 tips are to be done before you even go and see the property, and that's one of the mistakes people make. They go and see the property too eager. Let's get you doing some prep first. Draft spec the refurb from the photos in advance. Before you go and see the house, make sure you look up the advert, whether it's Rightmove or Zoopla or wherever you've seen the advert. If they've got a floor plan, have a look at it and see how the floor plan layout is, and have a look at the photographs to give you a very general idea of what the property condition is in. You can write up a draft spec for the refurb, i.e. for people to find out how much it's going to cost to renovate it based on the photos. You'd be looking at things like the decoration, although that's actually less important, the kitchen, the bathroom, and if you can see the wiring, if there's any photos of maybe the fuse box, if you can have a look at where the gas is the roof dipping, are there any hints of any damp that you can see, any patches on any walls, for example, do any windows need replacing? You're kind of looking for hints in the photographs that are there on the advert. They give you a general idea of what kind of refurb that you're going to be doing. I like to cookie cutter, fast in, fast out, whether it's a flip or whether it's a buy, refurb, refinance and rent out. So I'm going to keep it long term. So usually I don't really want to replace windows. I don't really want to replace a roof because there's no perceived value. Now, maybe if I'm going to keep it, I'll replace windows because then that's like a 25-year job. But if I'm going to flip it out, nobody's going to pay me more normally because I've put in double glazing and I've spent quite a few £1,000. So those aren't normally the kind of properties I want to go for because I want to be fast in, fast out, cookie cutter. So looking at the photos in advance really helps you think about what you're looking for when you get out there. Tip number 2, the floor plan. Is there a floor plan for a start? And can you add value? Here in the UK, we don't price property the way they do in Europe. So my apartment in Barcelona is priced up per metre squared. So it doesn't matter whether I've got 3 bedrooms, 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom or 4 bedrooms in there. It's pretty much priced up per metre squared, which is what they do in Europe. Not so in the UK. In the UK, I can easily add 50 grand of value. It is perceived value, but it is value if I take a 1-bed flat, which has a separate kitchen, a separate bathroom, a separate living room, and I move the kitchen into the living room, thus making a 2nd bedroom out of the kitchen. Sometimes you end up moving the bathroom into what was the kitchen if the bathroom was bigger. So you kind of look at the floor plan and go, where can I make a second? If the principle is I move the kitchen into the living room, so we've got kitchen, diner, living room, or very open plan, that dog better not do anything, eh guys? then which is the bigger room, the kitchen or the bathroom, to make the 2nd bedroom? I can add 50 grand plus in Bristol, moving a 1-bed to a 2-bed. Oh, he's now watching me, cute. He's like, Suze, teach me about property. So check the floor plan and get scheming. Tip number 3, Preparation. Get to know your area before you're going out. Is it a rental area or is it an owner-occupier area? Well, how are you going to do that, Suze? Have a look at the street and the surrounding view on street map, on Google Street Maps, so that you can see what's happening in the neighbourhood. Are the gardens tidy? Are the cars a little bit older or the cars quite new? Because if the gardens are messy and the cars are a bit older, it's usually a rental area. If the gardens are tidy and the cars are a bit newer, it's usually an owner-occupier area. So what is your strategy? There's no point you flipping a house in a rental area, because owner-occupiers don't really want to live with a whole bunch of tenants around them. They want community and they want long-term neighbours they can get to know and love. So check the areas, tip number 3 in preparation. And then tip number 4, before you've even gone out, understand the owner's, the vendor's situation. This will tell you whether you're going to get a deal or not. So whether you're buying it from an estate agent or whether you're buying it from an auction house, pre, during or post, have a phone call, a gentle phone call with the correct agent to understand what is it that's making the person sell. What is it they're looking to achieve? So my very first joint venture, bought for 175, 20 grand refurb, sold for 240, fully funded by my investor with a 50-50 split. Yes, everybody won on that one. I worked with that guy for years. He was a really nice guy. Was sold to me. Why? Because the people had moved already to Dubai. They'd left it empty and they just want it sold. It was being sold at auction and I bought it. No. I forget now. Isn't that terrible? Anyway, they'd moved abroad. I can't remember. Yes, no, it was, and we bought it pre-auction is my memory. So it was because they'd moved abroad that we were able to buy it cheap and make quite a lot of money. So they wanted certainty, so I got it cheap. And my investor got a great bit of profit for doing no work. I got a great bit of profit for doing work but putting no money in. Right, first 4 tips are all about preparation. Now you're ready to go and see it, aren't you? So tip number 5, the main focus. The 3 areas that are going to be costly are the boiler, the electrics and the general refurb. Take photos, take videos. I use Drive, I also use Dropbox. You can, these days with smartphones, you just upload those photos straight away. Tip number 6, you don't want to get like, oh my goodness, was that this house or that house or the next house? So when you are filing your photos, the first photo you take is the front door because it'll have the number on it. And the last photo you take of that house is the back door. So all your photos are sandwiched between the front door and the back door when you upload them. And that stops you getting confused as to which house you're actually looking at. Maybe you've done 5 viewings today and you've suddenly forgotten which boiler is which. Tip number 7, assess the property externally. So walk out the property. So get there early. Get there before the estate agent or the auction viewer, and start from the top down. Is the roof straight or is it sagging? You don't want to replace roofs. It's a no fun spend. It really isn't. And then, is the chimney straight? Is the flashing intact? What is roof flashing? It's the thin metal strip that roofers install to direct water away from certain areas. Are there any roofing tiles that are missing or slipped? So if there is a couple of roofing tiles missing or slipped, fair enough. But if you've got a sagging roof and the purling is sagging, I don't like that, because that's like a 10-12 grand spend. Who wants to spend that? No one's going to say, thank you, Suze, for buying me a new roof. I'm going to give you 12 grand more. Next is the guttering. Are there any leaks? Are there any stainages? Are there any blockages? Are there any internal damp patches or on external walls, especially upstairs, that can be caused by guttering? Could be easy to fix, could be difficult to fix. Then the walls. Are there any cracks? Are there any bits of mortar missing? On the windows, are they straight? Are they crooked? Crooked windows could well indicate that you've got subsidence, like the actual property is sinking in a way that's not even. I don't like that, not because I know how to deal with subsidence, but because if you're flipping, you'll need to declare that it had subsidence, and first-time buyers just don't like the word subsidence. So be mindful of, if you're going to keep it for 25 years, no big deal. But if you're going to flip it out, you don't want to scare your buyers by mentioning the word subsidence, okay? Because you don't want movement in the house. You're factoring in if you need new doors, new windowing, guttering, new roof, all of that. And while you're there, check out the street. You know, is it what you thought it was when you checked it out on Google Maps, on Street View? Is it a rental street or is it an owner-occupier street? Does it fit with your strategy? Because are there many for sale signs? Are there many to let signs? Because you're going to have competition and you want people snapping up your property. You don't want any competition in that street. You want to be the only one for rent or the only one for for sale. So don't buy a property where there's 20 other for sale signs, because you won't be able to flip it quickly, will you? Tip number 8, what to look for first in the house: your boiler and your electrics. When I'm in the house, I'm looking for a boiler. For me, gold standard is Worcester. I really like Worcester boilers. And usually when a plumber services a boiler, they'll put a sticker on it and a date. So you may, it's not guaranteed they'll do it, but they usually do it. You may well get an idea when the boiler was last serviced. And if they've put their sticker on it, guess what? It'll have their phone number. So grab their phone number, take a photo of it and phone them up afterwards, because they'll probably know more about the house. Oh yeah, that boiler is absolutely kaput. Or actually it's a cracking boiler, no problem at all. It's got its gas certificate and you can easily service it for the next, I think it could go for the next 10 years. Yeah. Electrics, I inspect the electrical fuse box. I want to see if it's up to current spec. Now, you may or may not know how to look for that, but you're looking, does it look modern or does it look really, really old? And again, it may well have a sticker on it saying when it's been installed, and super helpfully, it may have the electrician's details. You phone them up, take their number. As a landlord, I get my electrics certified every 5 years and I get my gas certificates done every single year. So I'm looking to see whether it's been serviced and kept up to date, or whether it's been allowed to kind of, I wouldn't say disintegrate, but just rest a little bit, shall we say. If you're not too sure, take photographs and send them to your plumber and your electrician to ask them for a general idea before they've come in and inspected. Tip number 9, inside the house, what other big spenders are you noticing that you're going to have to spend money on? Any damp is a guilty culprit. The bay windows around Victorian Terrace, do the bunny hop, bum, 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 bum. See if the floor is a bit soggy, a bit bouncy, just to check if there's any damp, because often in bay windows, damp does come in. Now, damp isn't such a nightmare. You can either do it yourself or you can do it where you get a lifetime guarantee. If you do a lifetime guarantee, you want an insurance-backed guarantee, not just a guarantee from your builder, because they might go bust, change their name, but an insurance-backed guarantee. So even if they've gone, the insurance company spends out. Is there any knotweed in the garden? Familiarise yourself with what that looks like, and be aware that knotweed can be dormant in the winter months, so you wouldn't see it in the winter months, but you can see it in the summer months. Because if you've got knotweed and you know you've got knotweed, then it is pretty much unmortgageable. So either you can't get a mortgage on it because your surveyor's spotted knotweed, not liking it, or if you've done it up, you're so excited and happy about it, and then suddenly your buyer's surveyor comes in and says there's knotweed in the garden, it's totally unmortgageable, not having this. And it will take 2 to 3 years to go through a knotweed eradication program with certification. I've had properties with knotweed, it does happen. It cost me just over £1,000 on a 3-year eradication program, but that's no good for you if you're going to flip the property, so you've got to check for that as well. Look for cracks, subsidence. A classic one for Victorian houses is where they added a back extension when they added bathrooms, and maybe a bathroom downstairs and then an extra bedroom on top, or a kitchen downstairs, it extended out the kitchen downstairs and an extra bathroom on top. Look for where the back of the building is coming away, so it's cracking and it's coming away, because you'll need to pin it back in, that's not such a big deal, but the important thing is it actually cracking the drains underneath? So have a look at that. If there's anything major, take a real note of it. Tip number 10, just general cosmetics. You notice I've put the kind of cute stuff to last because it's probably going to cost you the least. Remember to save where you can. So do remember, you are not renovating for you. A big mistake I made in the very early days was I actually paid for Farrow & paint in rental properties, and it was cream. So I could have just bought Magnolia. You know, I've paid 4 times as amount. But also bathrooms, if the sanitary ware is white, do you need to change it? No, probably you don't. Are the kitchen carcasses good enough? The internal units? Maybe you just change the worktops. Maybe you get the doors painted. Maybe you change the doors. Maybe you just change the knobs. Don't buy a new kitchen because you just feel you should. If the kitchen is good enough, change the worktop, change the doors, job done, keep going. So let's recap. Number 1, preparation. Spec up with the photos. Number 2, preparation floor plan. Can you add value? Number 3, preparation. What's the area look like on Google Maps and on a street view. Is it a rental area or is it an owner-occupier area? Number 4, preparation. Understand the vendor's situation. Why are they selling? Can you get it discounted? Because no point you going out wasting your time and the estate agent's time if you can't get it discounted, is it? Once you're on site, tip number 5, boiler electrics and general refurb. Number 6, filing your photos. Front door, first photo. Back door, oh, I thought he was going to knock over the camera. Back door is the last photo when you upload them to Drive or Dropbox so that you know which house it is. Ah, that's number 3. I saw that this morning. Number 7, assess the property externally, roof, flashings, gutters, windows, door, and just check, is the general position of the property, is it a nice location? Does it look like a decent neighbourhood? Number 8, inside, boilers and electrics first. Number 9, any other big spender items within the house. And then finally, cosmetic, number 10, but remember to write notes. Where do you think you can actually save money rather than spend money? I hope you've taken a ton of notes. So the conclusion is, don't feel overwhelmed when you're looking at a house to renovate and you're relatively new to it. It's a process. You just follow the step-by-step process because quite a lot of it is common sense. You can use videos, you can take photos, you can ask your builders for quotes, and every time you will learn more because it's a learning process for you as well. You'll get faster at this the more houses you view. Last thing, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get all my latest videos out. You don't want to miss out. Hit the bell and hit the like notification. And if you have friends that would really benefit from this video, I would be so grateful if you sent it on to them. You maybe WhatsApp or message it, send them the link on, because this is quite a cracking video if you're new to property and you want to understand how to renovate your property, how to assess how much it's going to cost for the, let me backtrack. How to assess what's needing done to the property for you to then understand how much it's going to cost. I hope this video has been super helpful for you, and I absolutely wish you the very best to your career in property. You totally can do this, and somewhere on this video I'm going to give you a link to download some of my free checklists and property packs for you so that you can learn more in property, as well as give you more suggestions on more videos. If what we've put out for you guys really works for you, then fabulous. Support our channel, click the like button, and thank you so much.